Welcome into WagerTalk TV. We're talking the NFL matchup. Cleveland Browns, Dallas Cowboys. We're seeing Dallas Cowboys minus 4.5, 55 being the total. We got Robbie Vino, Brian Leonard from WagerTalk.com. Robbie, coming to you first here. Cowboys laying 4 in the hook at home. Any interest in betting the favorite here?
I think I might lean towards the underdog, Drew, at 4.5 here, Cleveland. I'll tell you why. The Cowboys' injury situation, obviously, like so many teams across the NFL, is well documented. But in this particular case, the areas that Dallas is injured in are strong spots for the Cleveland Browns, and I think they can take advantage. We'll start with their secondary, which we saw on full display against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks last week. Obviously, Dallas without their top two corners, both on IR, without Leighton Vander Esch, their middle linebacker, their best linebacker. So in essence, you could say it's the back seven that's really in trouble. Against the Cleveland passing game, you have Landry, you have Beckham, you have tight ends, you have backs out of the backfield. I mean, it makes for a real good matchup for Cleveland. I think the second good matchup for Cleveland is the fact that the Cowboys' offensive line is banged up. We saw him walking off the field, hobbled, and getting reshuffled during the Seattle game. Tyron Smith. Now, we're doing this video early in the week, so you want to check injury reports. But right now, it looks like Tyron Smith and Cam Irving both may not go. 2 tackles for the Dallas Cowboys. And it sets up good for a strength of the Browns, which is the pass rush. Myles Garrett's been getting into it this year, into the backfield, causing some havoc. So I think that those two particular spots, Drew, line up good for the Cleveland Browns. Their passing game and their pass rush should be able to do some damage here in this game. You know, Seattle didn't have the type of pass rush that could get to Dak Prescott over 400 yards throwing last week. Seattle was just as banged up, if not more, on the defensive side than Dallas was. So Cleveland brings a different problem to the table for the Cowboys here, and I think they could take advantage. Take a check real quick as the week progresses on Browns defensive end, Olivier Vernon, cornerback Greedy Williams, both have question marks. But if they go, Cleveland full strength defensively, I think is in a pretty good spot here. They've got to keep their quarterback clean. One positive I will point out for Dallas is last week Aldon Smith and his return to the NFL. He got after it pass rush-wise. They need to keep Baker Mayfield upright, but there's ways to do that. I mean, the Browns' offensive line, guys, real quick, they've seen the Baltimore blitzes already. They saw the Washington pass rush, which is as good as it gets last week. They only gave up 4 sacks and 62 attempts in those 2 games, so they've held their own. And then they can run the football to keep pressure off Baker. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. There's a lot going on for Cleveland offensively the last couple of weeks. I know it's against weaker opposition, but Dallas is weakened right now on defense. So for me, you know, generally I would take a look at that total. It's up around 55.5, which is, I still might get there, but I prefer to take 4.5 with the Browns. I think this is a field goal game at best, and the Browns have the opportunity to win this one.
All right, liking the underdog here. Brian, what are you thinking with the Browns and Cowboys?
Yeah, a little bit like Rob. I think I may like the total a little bit better on the over. Ward, I don't believe they've said anything if he's going to be in or out for this game. That's big in the defensive backfield for the Browns. The one thing the Browns do very well is run the football. Dallas is a team right now. They've been having to be forced to come back from behind in most of their games. So that's a team who really hasn't got the running game going. They haven't had much of a chance to do that. But I love the Browns' running game, and especially when you use Chubb. He's just a bulldozer down there. And if you're already short on your back seven like the Cowboys are, there could be some damage to be done in the running game. But the one thing that annoys the hell out of me for the Browns is Baker Mayfield has good legs. He used to run a lot in college and scrambled a lot, and we know how well teams that have scrambling quarterbacks do. We just saw 2 of them last night in the NFL for Monday Night Football. So I just wish they would let him run a little bit. They're kind of constraining him in the offense. I know they're trying to make sure he stays healthy, but if they would just let him run a little bit, that offense would be so much better there. And, you know, Dallas is one of those teams. They stop the run okay, but the pass defense is a major concern. We saw it last week against Seattle. The Browns have a lot of talented receivers, great tight ends on this team. The Browns are going to score. And the thing is here, will the Cowboys match them? I think the Cowboys' offense is right now at least far better offensively than the defense is. I hate to give out a total on a high number like that, but I'm looking for it to go a little bit over. They put out the game from the side standpoint, basically the dead zone, 5.5 area, 5 area, letting them know which way you want to go, down to 4 or up to 6, and it's still right there. If we were able to get a 6, I'd be on the Browns, but at this point, it looks like the over is the side that I'm preferring here.
All right, good stuff from Brian Leonard and Robbie Vino, both from WagerTalk.com. Guys, enjoy the game. And also, remember, $9 Mondays at both Sports Memo and WagerTalk.com. All plays across all platforms discounted to just $9, no matter which handicapper you choose. So check it out at both websites, Sports Memo and WagerTalk.com.